Hello and welcome to Tailored Acres. I'm Taylor and I am a home gardener in Wisconsin Zone 4B. And this is my friend Pam. Hello. And she is going to be in the garden walk this year for Wood County. So we are going to give you a tour today of her beautiful gardens.
All right, here we go. So we have a variety of different areas in our yard, and this is the only shade garden. So we've kind of filled this with really great shade plants for Zone 4B. We got Regerzia, of course, hostas and ferns, astilbe. Those are dwarf goat's beard, which is one of my favorite new little plants. It'll only get, a little bit bigger than this, and so very excited, and dedicated this one to my friend Richard, who is a shade gardener who has taught me just so many things about shade gardening. And this is the brand new garden, probably only about a month old right now.
And this is just beautiful. Like, everything is filling in really well. And I'm hoping to do a little area like this, also call it Richard's garden, because his is so inspiring in the area that we lost a bunch of our trees in the front in our secret garden.
So this is just our edge of our yard and woods. So I just threw some plants in there that do really well here, like bee balm and daylilies, and got some wild geranium. Had some, what is this called? Turtle head? Yes, turtle head. The blooms will be really pretty in probably a month. I don't know when they come exactly, but they look like a little turtle head. So I really love those. They are purple.
Okay.
And this is a wildflower I just discovered and transplanted in here. It's a native of Wisconsin. I couldn't tell you right now what it is, but it attracts the pollinators. I planted it just about 5 days ago and immediately had pollinators on it.
Cool.
So we just meander, and actually this next garden is kind of a transition from our woods into our backyard. My husband put a garden garage up a couple years ago and cut down a lot of trees, so we can walk right in. And this is mostly shade, but it gets partial sun. And as you mentioned, Taylor, the storm a few weeks ago, we lost a tree right over here that provided additional shade once the afternoon sun started coming. So the dynamics will change a little bit, but so far I haven't seen anything weeping too badly. In the back, we've got some of the japonica, and I can't remember what are we talking about? Ligularia.
Oh,
there
yeah,
we go.
yeah. I'm like, I know that leaf.
It looks weepy right now. Every time it gets a little bit of sun, it does that, but it's like it's resting. And I didn't realize that. I thought it was a sign of like huge distress, but the plant rests while it needs to conserve its energy. And once the sun kind of turns away, it'll perk right back up, and I don't even have to add additional water.
Okay.
But they get some really neat blossoms that are just starting. So
what is this one here?
This is called gooseneck loosestrife. Now, you've heard maybe bad things about loosestrife. There is an invasive purple, but this is gooseneck, and it's not invasive, but I would say that it is relatively aggressive. And I will probably thin this back after the garden walk, but as you can see,
I like it.
The blossom looks like a little gooseneck. So very pretty white blossoms. Had some trouble with some things not coming back after a tough winter. I think a lot of 4B people had the same issues with Brunnera, so I planted some new Brunnera. My Helleborus, I had 5, and I'm down to 1 now. So
same thing in my yard.
That's just perennial gardening at its best. But so yes, this is a much more of a woodland garden. A lot of white blooms and not a whole lot of color, but you'll start to see some changes as we go into the next garden. A bleeding heart, some hostas that are really taking off finally after, I realize it does take a few years for things to reach their mature.
It's hard to wait, though.
It is. Like, this isn't the right one, or I have it too close. That's usually my problem. I think, well, this looks really little, and I threw in some Regerzia, and there's some Simisafuga. You can see the white blossom that's coming, and I've got that in 3 areas, and I love the spike that comes out of that, and that spreads not fast and furiously, but it does fill in an area, which is what I was hoping for, to have a backdrop that just transitions
Is green,
naturally to
yeah.
the woods.
Looks good.
And then we added some annuals just for the garden walk.
Sure.
This obelisk. And like
You,
I
like,
knew what I
filled
was
it
doing. I
perfectly,
planted
yeah.
them and didn't know how they would, you know, when they would be blooming and when they would climb up. And
Yeah.
sure enough, it's
You'll have to
like
do that every
perfect
year.
timing. Yeah.
It looks so good.
So now we're on the other side of the garage, and this gets part shade, part sun. So it gives me an opportunity to do some things with plants that like sun. This gets a lot of a little morning sun, and then a little later it'll get some afternoon sun when the sun passes through some of the shade trees. And so I've just kind of started adding a bunch of color here. Had a little issue with my,
These are so cute.
oh, those are pentas. That's an annual. Most of
Okay.
these are perennials, but we had a little problem with the tree that went down, and I decided to just throw some annuals in there to do a
Yeah.
fill. And my black-eyed Susans are starting to blossom.
Oh, yeah.
Despite, you can see over here, the buffet that the bunnies have had. And no
I had
matter
that
what I
problem
do,
with them
most
too.
recently I've been spraying deer off or deer out. It's
Okay.
peppermint
Oh,
smelling, because I had
nice.
people
Yeah.
coming, and I thought
Right.
it might be better to smell like peppermint than
Yeah, then.
deer repellent.
Mm-hmm.
And the feature in this garden this year is, I call it the geranium tree. So I overwinter my geraniums every year, and most all of these plants are several years old. And I had
They're
so many, I potted them up, and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I didn't want
Yeah.
to have just all these geraniums. And we decided to just put it on a
I
pole.
love that.
And so we're calling it the geranium tree. And during the garden walk, I'm giving some instructions on one of the signs on, people ask all the time, like, how do you overwinter geraniums?
Oh, okay.
It's quite easy. I mean, at the end of the season, before it freezes, I take all the blooms off, any dead or dying leaves, and gently pull the plant out of the soil, brush off the soil, and then I just put it in a paper grocery bag,
Okay.
staple it shut,
Yeah.
and put
forget
it in
about
the basement and forget about it. And they look terrible when you get them out in the spring.
Yeah.
And then you put them in the pot and put them in a sunny area. And I'm in and out of the house on nice days. I'll put them outside to harden them. And they've never failed me so far. I mean, I've had a couple that haven't done well, but these are really reliable. And now they're just bursting with blossoms. So
Yeah,
kind of
they are.
excited about the
They're
geranium
huge.
tree.
They're huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what kind of a tree is this one here?
This is a river birch.
Okay.
When I first bought it, it had been overwintered outside in Wisconsin in a pot at a greenhouse. So
Okay.
I bought it on super clearance, and it
Sweet.
looked terrible.
Yeah.
But it has really come into its own, and it
It's so
actually
cool.
adds a really nice height feature and
Yeah.
just a different texture to this garden. And my hope is that people will walk into the gardens, because I do have little signs, as you already showed one, in each area. It's either a story or some information on why the garden is what it is. And
Okay. Yeah.
so it kind of helps. This is, you know, what I just explained about geranium trees and what to do if you have a lot of geraniums. That's a way to feature them.
Yeah.
Obviously, the ones in the back are getting more shade, so they're not blooming as much. So
Oh,
I've been
sure.
rotating them. I bring them out in the sun, and
Oh, good idea.
and then they come to life. But for tomorrow, I just filled them back in, and you can see I've kind of interspersed some color with pots of annuals to bring in some color as well. So
That's
this
such a good
just
idea.
a couple years ago did not look good at all. This garden was actually only like in its third year, and as any gardener knows, it takes time and mistakes and failures to figure out what you really like. And I think
Yes.
it's starting to come into its own a little
Yeah.
bit.
It looks great this year.
Nothing like a deadline of having several hundred people come into your yard
Right? Yes. Yep.
to kind of get you thinking about what you need
So,
to do.
Did yours bloom nicely this year? Your boom
This-
chocolatas?
They actually did not, because I moved them. They were on the
Okay.
other side,
Okay.
and they just didn't look very happy over there, so I
'Cause
moved them.
I have mine in full sun.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm supposed to do that,
Well,
but
think,
it was like crazy huge this
no,
year.
I think full sun is good. I don't think
Okay.
this partial shade is a problem, but
Yeah,
I think just the fact
it
that
might be
I
part sun. to-
transplanted, it's starting to fill back in.
Oh,
You can
yeah.
see lots of shoots down there,
Yep.
which I love. That when I first transplanted it, it looked just like leggy and weird.
Yeah,
so
just
I cut
all
it
spread
back.
out. Yeah.
Oh, and this is where I put one of my Canadian hemlocks. This
Oh
is
yeah.
a
Yes.
tree that you and I are both fascinated by.
Yes,
This can
they're
get
so cool.
huge if you let it grow. It can also be kept as more of a shrub form. So this is just a baby.
Yeah.
And my main concern this year was keeping the deer off of it. And so far, so good. I think once it gets to a certain height, they can't do quite as much damage. So, and then this just kind of transitions back into where
into the
we
woods.
store compost and
Yeah.
bark and hide things back behind the garage. Doesn't everybody?
Yes. Definitely.
And as we come out of here, go back to this tree.
Yeah.
The oddest thing is all the branches coming right out of the trunk.
Yeah.
But when we get into a different perspective, you'll see that this tree bends. It looks just like an entrance to an enchanted garden.
Yeah, it's like a big archway.
But what it leads to in our yard is just the compost pile in the end of the drain
Which
field.
is magical.
It's magical.
Compost is magical.
So maybe I'll put a secret garden in there someday. But my granddaughter actually pointed that out, and I hadn't realized it. But when you get out here, you can see it's kind of cool how it just arches over, and with the leaves, kind of creates like an entrance.
Oh, yeah. That is cool.
So now we're entering our official backyard, and this is my favorite place to spend time. A few years back, I guess in 2019, we had a major patio reconstruction and added the covered porch, and it gave us an opportunity to convert. This was all lawn right here with a little bit of stuff along the fence, but the landscape service that did all the hardscaping had a beautiful plan to pull the house, the vegetable garden, and our fire pit, which you'll see in a minute, and the patio all together. And it's just a really serene area to hang out. And we have our coffee out here every morning. So this was actually in 2019, as I said, a really small garden. And I came home when they had it done, and I just sat down and said, I'm going to sit here and never leave, because it's so, they did such a nice job. They incorporated some big rocks, which I wanted, but I never asked for.
They just did it. That's that just needed it.
They knew, but they listened to my wishes, and I didn't have the design experience. But as you can see, then they kind of, they pulled together. We'll go to the vegetable garden in a minute, and then our fire pit. So everything's tied together. And then I guess we'll spend our time up here on the patio for a minute while we're up here.
Yeah.
I have a really good friend, actually. My daughter-in-law's mom is displaying her work at the garden walk, which is, we're calling her Nana because we share grandchildren. My grandchildren call me Ja, and the same grandchildren call her Nana. So it's Nana's Enchanted Woodland Fairy Garden. She does this every year on her deck. This is the extent of her gardening, but it's fantastic, like all the little fairies and all the little plant features that you can see. Everything is real except for, she pointed out one thing that was fake, and I probably these succulents.
Yeah, I was going to say those succulents over there look not quite the right
But otherwise,
color.
she incorporated a boxwood and some, you pointed out, so
the little spruce there.
Spruce. And I told her to transplant those into her yard when she's done.
Yeah.
She never thought about that. She always just thinks about her fairy garden. So we're going to do a little quiz for the kids that come to the walk, and I've got some questions on a board. Can you find two fairies fishing, a fairy hugging a bear, a dog fairy, a fairy riding a rabbit, a fairy playing a guitar, which is actually a mandolin, and a fairy reading a book? And then I've challenged them to count all the fairies and guess how many there are, and then we'll have the answer right over here under a flap.
And this is what it looks like.
This is what it looks like at night. Isn't that cool? So she has all of the lights on a timer, and about 9 o'clock last night, after we had moved this and set it in place, I didn't even think about it, and my husband said, oh my gosh, you've got to come and look at this. The lights were all on, and it was just so cool. So I wish the garden walk was at night.
Yeah. So cute.
So we're under the covered porch now, and this is where we love to spend our mornings. Get up and drink coffee, and then we go about our day. Usually he goes golfing, I go to the garden, but this is our peaceful place. And in the fall, we love to be able to sit and turn the fire on and have a little bit of warmth, lots and lots of shade under here. Actually, sometimes a little challenging because it's so shady. So
Yeah.
these plants, I will actually pull them out once in a while just to get them a little bit
of
sun,
something. Mm-hmm.
because they tend to get too much shade. And actually, I've had a little issue with things kind of rotting out almost early.
Sure.
You know, and you got to be careful in zone 4B with coleus, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
They do not like to be out in even below 50-degree weather.
Yes.
They get finicky. So,
yep, they are fussy.
But the arrangement turned out
so you
pretty
have
cool.
4 pots here. Yeah.
We have 4 different pots.
That's cool.
And that wasn't even the intention. I just planted them and then I shoved them together one day and I'm like, hey,
that looks good.
actually looks nice together. So I left them there. I had some of them sitting up on the stairs over there and decided that no, we don't need to put them there. Here they'll look better as a group.
Yeah. Yeah, I really want an area like similar to this in our yard, and it's like our yard is just so hilly. It's hard to figure out where to do that.
There's the beauty of the hills because you can do some neat things with heights and textures and things. You know, a lot of people have to put berms in to get that.
Yes.
In fact, we've got a couple mini berms, but ours is relatively flat otherwise. But it does add a new challenge, I'm sure, also for erosion for you that we don't have to deal with
all the sand. Now
we can wander into the vegetable garden. This is actually, ironically, where it all started, and I have a little sign about that. So when our oldest granddaughter, Sydney, is now 14, and when she was 4, she was my little gardening buddy. She loved to help dig and plant, and she liked to eat tomatoes right off the vine, and I'm like, this is the perfect little partner for me. So there's a little picture. So the first year, my husband built a 4x8 little raised bed, and we did a square foot garden in that bed. And that's still Sydney's bed, but now it has strawberries in it. And then we added a vegetable garden around it.
This looks good.
Which is going really good so far this year. I've got all the things: cucumbers, beans, peas, potatoes, blueberries, peppers, lettuce. The strawberries, all of mine died last year. I don't think I protected them right going into winter. But onions and some of the shallots and what did you give me? Shallots and
onions. Yeah.
And onions.
Oh, and leeks.
Leeks.
Okay.
Too.
Yep.
And I've got more onions over here, and
those are all
carrots and beets. So there's a lot of picking coming up. My peas were a little bit late, but they're really starting to pods finally. I thought, well, we're going to get vines, but no.
And ours
fruits.
were like so early this year. I actually replanted them this week.
Did you? My first round did not do well, so I replanted, and that's why I was late. And then the cucumbers are going crazy. I'm going to have a hard time finding them in there.
Yeah, they look really good.
I probably should have pulled some, but you know how hard it is to pull out a living plant.
I know, yes.
There's 3 of you, and I'm picking you as the one that has to go.
Yep.
So
it is tough.
Yeah.
And then you just got pine shavings, it looks like.
I did, and it was mostly just for weed protection, but I did read you have to be careful when you put the wood shavings down around onions because it can deplete the nitrogen out of the soil. So it suggested putting down some like fish emulsion, which is what I did.
Okay,
or
some
I had
heavier
some
nitrogen.
blood meal that I sprinkle, and then you have to keep, I've got to be
keep
careful.
them away from the base of them.
So they kind of want to creep in, and I've got to just keep watching that. Otherwise, you can have things rot out.
I've used a bit of pine shavings too, especially around the garlic, and I really like it because it's like so light and fluffy. It does a good job of blocking out the
only
weeds.
Thing is when I'm watering, then it
leaves.
Where I don't want it, but you know, I don't think a vegetable garden is intended to be neat and tidy. I just hate the weeding. So we put down
the fabric.
Finally, this year was the first time I did that, and we had some straw, and that's worked really well by the lettuce.
Okay.
Some weeds get through, but they're manageable. You can see them, and not doing near as much weeding in this area because I want to spend my time with the flowers.
Exactly. Yes.
And just pick.
Yes.
The tomato plant is finally exceeded my height.
Yeah,
it is already exceeded my height. And we have a little bit of fruit, but I'm glad it didn't happen until really now, and I'll start harvesting after the garden walk, so I don't have that to deal with. A lot of lettuce.
Yeah, it is. It looks beautiful, though.
Oh, it's yummy, and I've been able to give away a lot of it.
Well, good.
So
I always hate, like, mine gets, like, sand in it, and then it's like you just got to rinse and rinse and rinse forever.
And that's another reason the straw was really nice.
Yeah.
It kind of helps from that splashing. But I have found if I kind of reach underneath and pull the bottom leaves off. They're usually kind of rotty and
Yeah.
they're the worst ones.
Yep.
And then I work my way in. So I
Mhm.
take off the leaves that are on the outside first, and then the rest are standing up, and they don't seem to, you have to clean off the ones that are leaning
Yeah.
more than you have to clean off the upright ones. And I love the romaine because it
It's
is more
more upright.
I might
Yeah,
do more
that's a
than
good
in future
idea.
years. But
Maybe
I do
that's
like
what I'll
the
try
mix
next time.
too. It's
Yeah.
nice to just be able to cut it, rinse it, and you've got a
Mix.
total mixed
Yeah.
salad. So good. So this is a relatively shady area as well, and over the years I've done different things, but I decided to turn it the last few years into a memory garden. We planted this Nishiki willow tree. I think it's natural is to be a shrub, but it's been changed or over time as a hybrid. So it's a Nishiki willow. We bought this in memory of my mother-in-law when she passed away. And then we bought this maple tree in memory of my father-in-law. And I just think it's kind of neat that they meet
Yeah, they're
right
coming
here in the
together.
middle. They're always reaching for each other. And then both my parents passed away in the last several years. And so the little girl is in honor of my mom. And then unfortunately, the tree we planted in honor of my dad was the one that went
you
down in the
lost.
storm a few weeks ago. We'll find another Alex tree. We called that the Alex tree. So here I just did a whole bunch of coral bells. I really wanted it to fill in, and it will over time even more
Yeah.
with coral bells and then just a few hostas over there and Japanese ferns in the back.
Oh,
I'm
those
hoping
do
those
look
will
good.
really
Mm-hmm.
fill up the area. Some Jacob's ladder and
Oh, yeah.
columbine in the
You
back.
have the variegated one too. I
Yeah.
do as well.
I had one that for some reason wasn't happy after the end of its cycle, so I
Oh,
cut
yeah.
it back. But those things
That's
happen.
okay.
So, and again, I didn't know what I was doing with hostas, so this is lucky that it turned out this way because I
Sure.
didn't design it for the biggest one to be right there. But
Yeah,
I
it looks
lucked out.
It looks
now
intentional.
maybe in a few years these will be too big. I don't know because I didn't read the
I
instructions.
am not a hosta person, so don't ask me either. I
They
finally
look nice
planted
right
like
now.
the fourth one probably in my garden a couple weeks ago. One of the big ones, like Shadowlands, Woo La La,
Oh,
in a
okay.
spot where it should be able to get big. So
Yeah.
maybe in a couple years I'll let you know.
One thing that Richard
going.
taught me about hostas that everybody thinks they're just a shade thing, and there are so many that can withstand sunlight too,
Yeah.
and so not to be quite so fussy. But what I decided to do when I was redesigning things was kind of like, don't put hostas in that garden. I'm going to put hostas here and I'm going to put hostas over there, but I'm not going to just throw a hosta
They don't have to be everywhere.
everywhere, right? This was more, it just seems more suited for flowers and more, height and different colors.
Yeah.
And hostas are beautiful, but the thing, hosta flowers are great for the pollinators, but they're not great for they get messy.
Yeah.
They, as they start dropping off. So I don't think it's the prettiest flower in the garden for sure. But
No, I usually end up cutting mine.
yeah. But I was really trying to be gracious this year. And
Yeah.
let's
It
let's
looks good
encourage the
there.
pollinators.
Yeah, it looks good there.
They need as much.
and because
as
it's
they
got
can
that
get.
blue tint to it.
Yeah.
It looks good with the purple.
But every day, then I'm pulling off. I take a bucket and I shake it because
Yeah.
I'm being so meticulous this year.
Yes.
Like, I don't want any of that ruining the look. Now we're meandering into, this is Les's domain.
Yeah. This is his
The
area.
fire pit is his thing, and we both love it. I mean, don't get me
It's
wrong,
so
but
nice.
he loves to cut trees. He loves to cut wood. He loves to burn big fires. And we normally have the circle all the way around the pit. We actually, this is a stamped concrete. We built it under the guidance of a friend. We didn't know what we were doing.
Okay.
And then in 2020, we added the wood sheds.
Yeah.
And tomorrow, when we have the garden walk, we're going to have an acoustic trio right here
yeah.
that will be providing music so people
That's
can
gonna
sit
be
down.
cool.
And then we'll just keep wandering.
Yeah.
You'll be excited to see this. This is my
Oh
Wanda and Taylor garden. It's the dahlia garden. So these are all dahlias that you've taught me. I didn't know a thing about dahlias. I had just accidentally had some a few years ago, and I thought, oh, these are interesting. I didn't realize what a cool thing they are that you can
Yes.
just, overwinter them, replant them, and you get these beautiful blossoms. Some of my favorites, Do you remember the name of that one? Because I
I
gotta
think
get the
this
list
one
out.
is Mary Jo, maybe.
Okay.
I think it's number 5.
I know there's 11 varieties in here, so it's just on the cusp of blooming.
Yeah.
This one over here, I really love. Wanda, your mom gave me this, and that's
Okay.
the
Yes.
cha-ching.
Yes, cha-ching.
Isn't that pretty?
Yeah, it's
just
got like the
that.
striped
Yep,
leaves.
I've got a couple of them. This one's almost spent, but I've got so many buds
Yeah.
that I think if you came back in 2 weeks, it would be a different garden.
yes. This is going to be,
I think
this will be just for you to enjoy.
That's right.
It's your reward.
The one in the back left,
Oh, yeah.
I believe that's Blutiful.
Yep.
And I actually moved that there recently because it was back behind this tree and it wasn't, I couldn't enjoy it, and there was a spare spot. So
yeah.
I think it looks much better over there.
It does, yeah. Those look good with the pine in the back too.
Yeah.
I've been
And
working
then
on that too, like having like a backdrop for things.
Well, Wanda helped me kind of set these up, but some of them actually grew, I don't know, for whatever reason, taller than the chart said. And,
Sure.
But these are fabulous.
Oh, yeah.
She gave me some of these, and
that's
I'm excited
one of my
to
favorite
see.
ones. They're
We got a bunch of buds. I got a daddy longlegs right there,
Oh,
too.
yeah.
And it gets enough sun here, but it's not a immense amount of sun. I've noticed, and I don't know if you have that same problem, when you get too hot of a day, your dahlias rest.
Yeah, they
too.
do a little bit.
I've got some up front along the sidewalk, and they're very robust. They're very healthy, but
Yeah.
if the sun's beating on them, they
It
just
gets some. Yeah.
And then I panic, like, oh,
Yeah.
throw some
What's
water
going
at
on?
it.
Right.
But again, I've been told they're just resting. I mean, if you let it go too long, they would be more than
Right. They would
resting,
be.
but-
Yes.
And then
Oh, yep. Here. This is fun because it's kind of like find the blooms.
yep, find
I like
the bloom.
it.
I don't remember the name of that, but we have some down here and some
That
down
one's
here.
Sayonara, I think. Which that one I didn't keep.
Yeah,
So you're the only one that has one.
yeah, and I love it.
I love it in here though. So
Yeah. What I did not realize until this year about dahlias was like this cha-ching
yeah.
to me does not look like a dahlia bloom at all. Like
Oh.
the standard dahlia I think of as this
Okay.
or this. And
Sure.
I'm like, oh, there's so many varieties.
There's so many forms.
It's so
yeah.
cool, and all the different colors and
Well, and
heights
I
and things.
Only have one that's like the open bloom, like the open center, because like all of these, I mean, these have a little bit open center because it's been so hot that they'll do that, like this style, but like these ones don't really.
Yeah.
The balls don't really do that.
I'm waiting.
But they'll just have like a single, like almost they look like a daisy.
Uh-huh.
It's like I have
That
one of
does not
those.
seem
Like
like a
it's just
dahlia,
not what
right.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to my Penn Hill, is it Penn Hill watermelon? Is that what it's
Yes.
called?
Yep.
The big
That's my
blooms
favorite.
that are like
Yep.
dinner plate size.
Yes.
I was shocked last
And they're
year
like
how big
3D
they are.
blooms.
They
like they are just
so-
crazy.
It's hard to take a picture of them because you can't capture really how cool they are
Yes.
in a picture. But I enjoy those. So
This
those will
area
be
looks
coming.
cool. I would have never like thought to plant them this way, but I love it.
Well, I had a bare spot and a bunch of bulbs.
Yeah. So why
and
not?
he taught me how to pre-sprout them
Yeah.
because if timing wise, if I would
It
have
would've
waited
never
to plant them
worked,
in the
yeah.
ground, they wouldn't
No.
be anywhere near this. So
Yep.
and pre-sprouting was actually easy.
It's
It's scary because you think,
Right,
oh,
'cause
nothing's
you're like-
going to come up.
And it's too early.
And
Yeah.
nothing's going to come up,
Yes.
and all of a sudden, boop, boop. And
Yep,
I would
and then
say
there they go.
95% of them made it.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
amazing. And you can lay them on their side, so you
Yeah.
really don't have to have a pot for each
No,
one.
you
Can
don't.
do the tray, and
Yep.
that was
And
nice.
then just split them apart when you're ready to plant.
And tomorrow also we'll have, at a different time, we're going to have a piano player.
Are these from my mom's?
They are.
Okay. I'm like,
yep,
I recognize those.
yep. She loaned me some plants for the stage here.
Yeah, I like it.
We'll have a harpist and a piano player at different times tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
The harp is gonna
That's
be just
amazing.
so lovely.
Yeah.
Normally we just grill in here, so it turned into a stage for tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of geranium this is, but
It was some kind of a double, and I think she started them from seed last year.
Really.
Yeah.
It's
So I was
so
going to take
cool.
a cutting because it's my favorite
It's got,
geranium.
yeah, pink and white in it. I've never seen one like that.
Mhm. It's beautiful. And
Me
then
too.
she's got it with like the variegated
Mhm.
and then the silver.
Why do you think I borrowed them?
I
They're
know, they're
beautiful.
beautiful.
They're heavy.
I love those too. Oh yeah.
Barry had to carry them.
Yes.
It's like, can you put those two in the car for Pam?
Yep.
I was lucky to have some friends that I probably have about 6 pots that are from friends who are just so supportive and so excited about this.
Yeah,
And
it's such a
given
cool
an
thing.
opportunity, and all your help with the dahlias. And I'm messaging you all the time about this or that, and like, is this normal? What should I do about
Yeah,
this creeping?
it's so fun.
I thought it was creeping Charlie, and you said, no, it's creeping Jenny. Get rid of it.
Yeah.
And I did meticulously. It was winding through a major part of my garden.
Ruin your day for sure.
So one of the things I did in the last year, knowing I was going to be doing this, is this garden it had a lot of beautiful textures, and again, the backdrop is the woods.
Yeah.
And my neighbor is washing his house, so you're hearing that motor.
That's
in the
right.
background.
You might not hear that at all.
Not very
in here.
peaceful.
Yeah. Yeah.
But and I did put a little berm in here, but the garden was so big that you couldn't really see everything.
Yes.
So we cut a path through it, and I really focused on trying to get the back area to be, as we walk through, you'll see more shrubs and taller things that'll just fill in.
Yeah.
And then
so it'll be
close
kind
to
of
the path will be
low
the
to high.
flowers, and then up front we have our septic tank cover
Oh yeah.
right under this rock. And about
Okay.
a month from now, we have to
Get it
destroy
pumped.
this and open it up.
Yeah.
So I said not till after the garden walk.
Right.
We can do it then. So as we walk through, I guess I'll point out a couple cool things. Solomon seal, which is one of my favorite. I've got the
Yes.
variegated ones this year.
And you
I
gave me
also-
some of these too, and I
Yes.
love them.
I added this weed, this miniature
Oh,
Solomon
yeah.
seal, and I bought this from Richard too.
Okay.
And
I didn't know
thought
there
it
was a
just
miniature.
yeah. I don't know what the scientific name
It's
of it
cute.
is, but it's a Solomon seal. And as we walk through, you can see my bee balm on steroids with lots of buzzing going on.
Yes, there
You
are
see
lots of bees in there.
And it's at about a perfect time. This year so far, I haven't had any powdery mildew yet.
Okay.
It could probably happen because they're a little bit crowded, but I didn't want to divide them yet. I wanted to
Right.
wait till
Yeah.
next year I'll divide them
Mhm.
because they're just so pretty when they're in mass.
Yeah,
like
in
this.
mass. And then like right around, this was a service berry. Is that right? The tree?
Yes.
Yep.
And it almost looks like a little weed coming out of that
It does
beautiful
almost-
bee balm
it is-
patch.
Yeah, they're just
Like what is
a
that?
little bit scraggly, aren't
It's
they?
not the most full tree, that's for sure.
I like
but-
this purple right in here too.
Back over here, that's Chocoholic Simisafuga.
Oh,
And that was really
wow,
little
that
a
got
few
tall.
years ago. It's
Yeah.
so pretty against the green
Yes.
Aurelia.
Sun King. Yeah,
Yeah.
Aurelia. Yep.
Yep. And then, of course, the Solomon seal.
Yes.
Got a bleeding heart kind of hidden in there, and then more Regersia. And,
Mhm.
you know, it seems like I really had a good plan, and I did
Just
draw it out,
yeah.
but sometimes
You knew what you
have
were doing,
no
right?
idea. And it's like, hey,
it worked out
I
so
actually
good.
look like I knew what I'm doing. I
And the
put
spacing is perfect
the
too.
crab tree right there. And then
Oh, yeah.
right sneaking under there is one of the lemony lace elderberry.
Oh yeah.
And I had more of those. One of them didn't make it one year, but those other two have really filled in. And you can see a dahlia peeking up. 'Cause
Yes,
had a
I
few
do see one
dahlias
there.
left over, and I threw them in.
Yeah.
And I don't remember which one that's going to be. It's a surprise. So
All right, that's
they're all
okay.
numbered. Taylor does a good job of
Yes.
numbering, and I've got a
I got
chart,
a system.
but I'm not as good at writing down where I planted them. So it'll be a surprise for me.
I do have one surprise this year as well. I couldn't figure out what.
Yeah.
It was one that I like dug last minute and popped in a pot and just put in the basement, and it survived. And so it's out there. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
We'll find out in a few more weeks probably, but
And then this year I went to an Amish, it was really fun. You'll have to come with me sometime. An Amish farm in Cashton.
okay.
And it wasn't a greenhouse. It's a farm where they have rows and rows of beautiful perennials. And then you point to what you want and they dig it right there on
Oh,
the spot.
Okay.
And
yes.
send it with you. So
That sounds fun.
Heliopsis was one of the things
Oh,
that
yes.
intrigued me. And I didn't know
I
what
had a huge one. Like
it's so pretty.
the first year we moved to our house, and it was gorgeous. And then I moved it, and it was doing good. And then the deer ate it right to the ground, and it
Did
died.
they? Oh, see, I haven't had that happen.
Yeah, it's
with
probably
this
in a
yet,
good
but
spot.
I have
for-
been spraying it, and I pepperminted it as well. So
Those are so pretty though,
hopefully
because it's got like
all
the
I got to
dark
do is
foliage
get through
and the
tomorrow,
dark
and then if they
stem.
damage things, I'm not going to be quite
Yeah,
as
then it's theirs.
concerned.
Yep.
My hollyhocks that are hidden in the back there.
Okay.
I was hoping they'd be huge, but the rabbits have
kept them
pruning them.
trimmed up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a pretty one right behind you that, well, it's kind of,
Oh yeah. Oh, that one is really cool.
yeah, it's tall. I noticed some rabbit damage on the bottom yesterday, though. I can
Oh
see.
yeah, I see
there's
one.
right
Yep.
there. Darn things. And I sprayed it last night, but yeah, that's
Yep.
what they will do.
Mhm.
Just kind of eat it and then decide they don't really want it.
Yeah. Oh, that didn't taste good.
Yeah, yuck.
But I'll try again tomorrow. Maybe it'll taste different tomorrow.
So you can see back here, we're working on trying to get more of the shrubs. I've got another Canadian hemlock over here,
Oh yeah.
and then some 9-bark that are different colors and different species of 9-bark. A little spruce tree back there.
Oh, yeah.
And some grasses that I planted somewhere else, and I didn't like them there, so then I
Okay.
just threw them back there. But
Put 'em in there,
get,
yeah.
it's a perennial grass that's good for Zone 4B. I can't remember the name of it, but it's supposed
Okay.
to get 4 feet tall.
Is it like Carl Forster or?
It
Nah.
doesn't have a
I'm not very
more
good
of
with
a
grasses.
scientific name.
Okay.
Me either.
All right.
So when I find out, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Yesterday I'll send.
Oh, is it like a blue stream? Maybe.
It's from Bluestone Perennials.
Okay. Maybe.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up. Maybe I have the tag. But yesterday on these coneflowers, I
Ooh, those are
captured a
pretty color.
picture of a monarch
Oh,
sitting
cool.
right there. It
Oh,
was
wow.
just perfect, like a professional photo. And I
That's
haven't
cool.
seen as many monarchs as we used to in the past, so it was really kind of a thrill.
Yeah,
To,
it is.
hopefully we
I've
can
seen a couple of them, but
get more of them coming.
ooh, are these the ones that we bought? At
Yes,
the greenhouse?
Cosmos.
Yeah.
That I was going to plant in front of the dahlia garden, and I didn't have room, so I just
Yeah.
grew them here, and they're
These are cool.
so cool.
I like the
They're more of a
color on 'em.
miniature format.
Yeah. They're such
I
a
don't
pretty
think they're going to
flower.
get tremendously taller than this, so
No.
I thought it was a good spot to have them along
Yeah.
the edge.
And their foliage is really pretty.
Got a
too.
couple new hydrangeas, and one of them wasn't doing
no.
very well.
Yeah,
At
it's got
all the
little
leaves-
buds
yeah.
though,
So I cut it back, and I think it's
That'd
going
be
to
okay.
make it. This hydrangea's a few years old.
Oh yeah, and you got a
Yeah.
couple blooms
Yeah,
on there.
yeah. I think it's going to end up being really pretty. I mean, it already is, but
Those are tough ones to grow here too.
yeah. I have noticed, like, the ones labeled as macrophilia, I'm
Yes.
starting to avoid those because
Yep.
they seem too sensitive.
They
And they
are.
come
Yeah,
up-
they like need
They
perfect
come
sun,
up and they're
perfect
like 4
water,
inches
and
tall at this time of the year, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
get the kind that are really intended to have the woody stalks, and
Mhm.
I've got a couple really pretty panicle ones up in the front that are doing great, so I'll continue to do that. Got more of the Nishiki
Oh yeah.
willow in the shrub form here. Early spring, the deer seem to like these, so I've had a little bit of challenge with that, but these can grow really big, and I
Yes.
love the white that contrasts.
Well, and they like get that pink in
Yeah.
spring. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Because I have one that I'm hoping to keep shrub form smaller, but we'll see. My sister has one that's like 15 feet tall,
Really? Oh, good.
and it's like a tree trunk.
I'm
like,
sure hoping that
they're crazy.
these get to
Yeah.
that point where the
Mhm.
deer don't even bother them because
Yeah.
they're not
They
interested.
can't reach
They can't
it.
reach
Yeah.
them, and
Yep.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then really the rest of this area I've just let be woods.
Yeah.
Just thrown a few things in
I
front
like
of
just
the
the
on
like
the edge.
little bit of clearing and then like a border of
And we
plants in
share this area is actually mostly my neighbor's.
there. Okay.
But
Yep.
he's been very gracious in saying, do whatever you want to do because it looks pretty.
Yeah.
So I probably have pulled out a few more things than if you looked on the other side, and that's
That's
just
all
my
right.
preference.
Yeah.
And then on the garden walk, we're encouraging people that the last stop, I guess, people can meander as long as they want. But there's a shade garden down there, which if they want to go down and see it, I think every single plant in that area has been from a division of a different
Oh,
part of
okay.
the garden.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a free.
The extra.
garden?
Yeah. The
The
bonus
extra
garden.
garden?
Yeah.
And so I'm encouraging people to go this way because I did an annual garden this year that I really wanted people
Yeah.
to see. This area, when we bought the house, was all wooded
Okay.
and gangly, just crazy, scrubby stuff. The retaining wall had been put in, so that was a really nice thing because I don't know that we would have known to do that.
Yeah.
But the rest of it was just wild. So over the years, and we did this as more of a formal landscaping area. I would never do rocks again, knowing what I know now, but
Right. They're hard to weed and
they're hard to weed, and they're not, I mean, you can't really grow lots of perennials in them, which is fine. We can do shrubs.
Yep.
This is a brand new one from Home Depot from this year,
Okay.
and it's
What
already
is that?
blooming.
Do you know what that one is? It's cool because
You
it's a
Go
lace
Girl?
cap.
Is that
Okay.
ring a bell?
It doesn't.
It's a
but
panicle one.
okay.
This one was also one that I
Yeah,
was
that
not
one is
knowledgeable.
beautiful.
Probably 4, 5, 6 years ago, we planted this, and I absolutely love this.
Yeah, it is.
Sometimes you just get lucky.
you do.
What do they call that? Dumb luck. You don't know what
Yeah.
you're doing, but it turns out
Just
really well,
fine.
and people
Yep.
think you're really smart. One
It's
thing
better
I
to
would
be
never
lucky
do
than
again, which wasn't dumb luck, is these ostrich ferns. It's a really bad idea in a area where you have a rock wall.
Oh.
Don't do it because
Okay.
they're coming out of the rocks.
Yeah.
You know, they'll come out, and I can't get them out without deconstructing the wall.
Right.
So I'm going to have to figure out how to.
Because they
I've
set
read
like
you
long
can
runners,
actually
right?
smother them. Like in
Okay.
the spring, I might
Sure.
smother. But you can see them coming out in
Oh yeah.
all these.
They probably would
eventually
take over
work
the
their
whole
way.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And I bought one plant. That was
Yeah.
it. One plant a few years ago, and I've divided and put them in wooded areas, and nobody mind. You know, I don't mind it then, but
Yeah.
this is not what I dreamed was
No.
going to happen here.
I mean, it looks good, but yeah. Then once you know you don't want it to.
Really, the final stop on the garden walk, and I've got to water these baskets. I can see. They're
Oh, yeah.
looking a little thirsty. I have 4 granddaughters, 14, 11, 6, and 4, and decided rather than putting flowers here, I would have them each make their own flower to represent my favorite. They call me Ja, right? So this is Ja's favorite flowers are my granddaughters, and that's the 4 of us, or the 5 of us, me
Yeah.
and the 4 of them. So we have girl power. And I bought, in case it rains tomorrow, which it could, I bought some little mini umbrellas from Amazon. They're the cutest thing, and I'm going to tape them to the back of the frames so that their
They're safe.
pictures are
Yes.
sheltered. And this was an experiment this year that turned out really well, too. I just decided to do, it's mostly annuals, but I do have, I think you were with
Ooh,
me
I
when I
like
bought
this.
these 3 hydrangeas.
Okay. Yep.
They'll stay small. And then I bought some dahlia bulbs that are supposed to be white. I
Okay.
don't remember the name of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then this Miss Manners Obedient
Oh yeah.
plant
I see it.
is something I bought, I think, through Bluestone Perennials.
That's really pretty.
And then really the rest are annuals filling in. And I went with, as you can see, pinks and whites. And
Yeah.
it's filling in
I really like
as
this.
though I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then you were with me when I bought, I think there were 4, maybe you weren't with me, but there were 4 little pots of these little
I think I was. Yeah.
petunias, and
Uh-huh.
they're spreaders.
Yes, they
And
are just a carpet
You're
of flowers.
just a little bit short of filling
Yeah.
out this whole area, but I
It looks really
Again,
good there.
a few weeks ago you could still see gaps, so it's
Yeah.
really filling in nice. And then I've got the window
Oh,
box.
I love that
Kind of
window
use some
box.
of the same theme.
That one matches my mom's really well.
I love these little licorice. Not little, because they grow pretty big, and
Yeah.
but they're easy to cut
They're
back
cool.
if they get a little bit too
Yep.
much. But I like how they weave themselves through other flowers and pop up, so they just add another nice color and texture. So
Well, awesome.
that's pretty much our garden walk.
Yeah.
Should have lots of people walking through tomorrow if the weather.
I know
permits.
it is supposed to rain in the morning, but
If
hopefully
rains
it
really
does
early,
quick.
We're good
Yeah.
with that, because
Yeah, then everything will be freshly
we're not going to
watered.
sprinkle anymore now that I have everything set up.
Yeah.
I'll take things down at night, but
Mm-hmm.
put them up in the morning.
All right. Well, thank you for your
Yeah.
tour.
Thank
Everything
you for
looks
doing
so
this.
good.
It'll be a nice to look at in future years and go,
Yeah,
man, my
remember
garden
what it
looked
was
really
like,
good that
yes.
year, but I don't know if I'll ever garden at that extent with annuals, because it's more expensive. I mean,
I like it a lot
pretty.
in this area though. Because
Yeah.
it's like annuals are the only ones that like you'll get that flower power like all
Yep.
season long.
You
so,
do, right?
So it's worth it in a few areas like
it's
this.
an extravagant thing because they only live for a year, but
Yes,
boy,
it
it's
is.
pretty
Mhm.
and it's welcoming.
I love that.
And I was going to point out that hydrangea
yeah.
that's sitting up there is a fairy trail that I bought because I thought it was pretty, and I didn't realize it was for zone 5. to 9.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'll pot it in a bigger pot, but I'm gonna just bring it in the winter.
Yeah, and see how it goes.
I'd probably bring it in the garage. I'll let it go dormant
Mm-hmm.
as though it's living in
It's
zone
very
5.
pretty though.
I think it's intended to trail a little bit more.
A trail. Yeah,
fairy
it
trail
does
is
kind
the
of look
name
like.
of it.
Yeah. Cool.
And that one will get a little sad when it gets too much sun, but it's a real passing thing, and
Yeah.
turn around and it's good again.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I think that's it then.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.